Hello and welcome to Sarge's Custom Tutorials. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Savage Crucible Wave 2 Nashorn the Disinherited and Krieger the Shunned. I'll take a closer look at the box. These are the maps that I pulled out from inside the box, but I didn't pull it out of this one. This is from inside of this box. You can see here the story. This is for Nashorn. Crucible, same on the side. Description of the Crucible on the back. And then always warm up your figures and make sure you look behind the map. That's where you have your D&D cards. Now I was kind of hoping they would do this because I took these maps out from my backdrop here. I realized that these are different parts of the same bigger map. Get these guys out of the way. This is a Lemuria. This came out of one of the Lemurian figures, the Savage or the Slate. You have this part of the map right here is this part of this map. So I'm hoping eventually we'll be able to get with maybe a deluxe figure. They'll have the whole map once it's all revealed. Like I would love to have that setting up behind these guys in a display. I also have kind of featured back here, this is a diorama piece that I got from Drunk Gizmo Customs. He is a local guy here in West Michigan who does some really awesome diorama work. Mostly he has them themed for Mythic Legions, but these, it works great with any fantasy thing. This is, really good paint work. It's got the fake plant stuff here. Really good dude to talk to, and does really awesome work. I'll put his Instagram link in the description below, so take a look at that. After getting my Warrior and Ball and Chain, which I originally got from the Kickstarter, I definitely wanted to get a few more of these guys. These are the two that I most wanted to get. I'm not going to do a full review of these characters since I've done so many Savage Crucible figures before, so if you wanted to take a look at kind of a deep dive at the articulation, I'll put a video up in the corner, and you'll be able to take a look at that. I'll just do kind of a quick what's in the box for these guys, and take a look at a few changes I'm going to make. Simple stuff. First we will take a look. And you're seeing in action, one of the issues is that these guys' ankles are not the best. Take a little bit of a closer look at Creger, who looks really awesome. I love the intensity of his eyes underneath the helmet, and I love that you can kind of barely see him when you tilt it just a little bit forward. They're just in shadow. They look really cool in there, but also the fact that you can't see them is pretty cool. The paint apps on his shoulder pauldron. Same with all of his armor, looks really good. It's like a belt buckle. You could almost put his, other than the general shape of it, you could almost put his loincloth on backwards and it would look like, you have your belt buckle here. Because you can remove this. This can actually become like a buckler. You'll see a little bit later. Good look at his boots. The only issue, and it's not even really an issue, but it is a thing, like his head, if you can kind of see in there, there's a good view. It sits really high on the ball peg. Like his head is sitting like a good, at least 1/8 of an inch, maybe even 1/4 of an inch above his neck, which when he has the helmet on is nice. It gives him still pretty good range, but depending on the angle, it can get pretty gappy, and if you're not paying attention, like he can do some real kind of disjointed, weird looking stuff. So it's good for articulation, and you don't really see it because of the helmet, but it is a little bit odd in the box. With Creger, we have this unhelmeted head, which looks really good. Pretty awesome gnarly scar there. Ponytail in his hair. Really good sculpt, really good intense look in the eyes there. Good paint. You have his sword and sheath. That fits in there pretty nicely. It kind of gets like stuck in the bottom there, but still comes out pretty easily. It has a peg which goes into that little hole there. Nice paint on the hilt. Also has an axe. Again, nice detail paint. I love all of the nicks and cuts in the blade. Like he's been using the hell out of this thing. This is a handle that you can use to turn this piece into a buckler. So this comes off. A buckler is if you don't know, a buckler is a small shield. So you can take this piece off of his belt and attach it here, and it becomes a small shield. Additional hands. These are the same hands that came with the warrior ball and chain, kind of like not relaxed hands, more like action, you know, wrestling type hands. He doesn't have any fist hands. These are gripping hands, but they have a horizontal hinge, and on him he has the vertical hinge. And then last but not least is our blind bag. And I got this guy. I was really hoping for a primal blade. I want to have a red fiery primal blade so I can kind of have it interchangeable with the one that comes with Coma of the Isle, because that's my favorite sword. Now for Nashorn. Originally, I didn't love the look of Nashorn from the renders that they made, and I still am not a big fan of the head. Like I like the helmet on it. The helmet looks really cool. The giant horns are just kind of cartoony to me. Like yeah, I get it. I see the appeal. They do look kind of cool, but just, I don't know, a little bit too big, a little bit too like, I don't know. There's a design element there that the way my brain views these figures seems more like cartoonish and comic bookish than I want these guys to be. I don't know. It's just something about it that I didn't love. Now that I have it in hand, like I said, I see the appeal. It's pretty cool looking. So he's close up on the head. Just has red eyes. You see the detail on the back of the helmet. It's pretty cool. Similar paint job on the shoulder pauldrons. Black wash on all the gold parts. There's a belt. This piece also comes off here, but I think it's just so you can kind of swap it with other stuff. And then this sword scabbard can actually also be removed. There's peg holes here and here, and there's another one on this side. So he comes with a dagger that you could put in here, or you can actually take the scabbard and swap it over to the other side. If you want it to be coming out this way as opposed to this way, you can do that. So that's kind of cool. His shin guards, which is literally what they are. That's his skin there. I do really enjoy the super dark skin tone. Supposedly they tried to find the darkest known skin tone that's like possible on humans, and so that's kind of, it's almost like it's black with like a hint of blue in it, so it's pretty cool. Detail on the feet. It's got sandaled feet. I'll get a closer look at the scabbard. Looks really nice. And then what comes with this guy, he has this nice sword. Good paint job and weathering on the blade and on the handle. A dagger, as I said, and sheath. That fits nicely in there. Good weathering and paint on this, on the dagger. And then he comes again with the same additional hands, the two kind of grappling hands, and the two horizontal hinge weapon holding hands. Again, on him, he comes with vertical hinge hands. And then in our blind bag, this is actually the second one of these that I've got. I got the same one with Warrior Ball and Chain, which in that video I asked if they were completely random, because I saw somebody else got this same sword with Warrior and Ball and Chain, but it turns out, yeah, I think it is just random. So that kind of stinks. I really wanted the Primal Blade. Any color really would have been nice, but the fire one especially, but that's okay. These are really cool looking swords, but that Primal Blade is definitely my favorite. Okay, so first thing I want to do is talk about the ankles, because a lot of people I've been hearing have been having trouble with the ankles, and as have I. Not so much the Warrior Ball and Chain seems to be fine, but and Krieger is not bad. They're like, this one's kind of is good, but this one's a little bit loose. But on Nashorn, both of them are definitely loose. They have detents in them, but there's not many positions, and they tend to be kind of floppy going forward a little bit. Like when you get to this point, they want to go forward pretty easily. So easy fix for that is to spin them around. So what I mean by that is they have a joint right here at the bottom of the shin, and then it's a swivel and a rocker. So what you can do, spin the foot around and then turn there. Okay, now, so what I did is I basically spun the ankle around and then twisted the foot and pushed it around, and now it's a little bit loose going this way, and now it's kind of tight going up. This is kind of the same way, so it's kind of tight here, so I'm gonna twist the ankle, spin it all the way around, twist, there we go, and now it's pretty tight. So there you go. It's not falling forward anymore. So that's a super easy fix for that. You don't have to contact the manufacturer. You can't tell looking at the ankles that they're backwards. You know, super easy fix. Okay, so I pulled off his shoulder pauldron here. And then these peg into the back of the arms. Again, if you watch the older videos there, this is two pieces here. There's a piece of fur pegged into his arm, and there's a piece of fur here. His head comes off pretty easily. So the thing I wanted to try with his armor... Oh, well, first off, let me show you. So that peg there, these are kind of not easy to get in unless they're warmed up. So while it's warmed up, I'll kind of show you. You just peg it into that hole. And even I didn't warm him up for that long, so it's still kind of tough. Okay, so once it's in there, it'll be all the way through the hole there. And then you can have his sword on his back, which is a ginormous sword. So that's pretty cool. So because the hole on the, the sides of the hole in the belt are really thin, it doesn't really want to come off. It started to stretch the peg, so I'm going to warm that up again. Okay, we got that taken off now. It was much easier to do with it warmed up, so definitely don't try to force that. If you see the sides of that hole are very thin, so if you kind of pull on it, you could tear that. And I also kind of made a little bit of a stress mark on one of these sides right there, so be careful of that. Warm up your figures. So what I was going to say is, if you wanted to have the fur on the other side, the front of this and the back of this are pretty similar, other than this little hole, are pretty similar looking. But if you don't mind that hole there, you can spin this around and you can put that, if you want that fur on the other side. And then you take this shoulder pauldron, put it back in, and that way you still have your fur and shoulder pauldron over here, but now you have fur on the other side, and it looks pretty good. Here, I warmed his other head up. You can kind of see what that looks like. So you can see there, that's not that big of a gap there as it is on the other one. Maybe the hole's a little bit further into the head, I'm not sure, but that would makes more sense since it's a bare head. But that's a pretty cool look for him too. Let's see about getting... Come on. He doesn't want to come apart. So, again, I'm not going to push it. I'm going to warm him up a little bit. I'll be able to take his body apart and see about getting this buckler off. Okay, so I warmed him up. Now he should much more easily come apart. Much more easily. Okay, so what I was trying to do, so yeah. Okay, so he has a couple of things on his belt here. He has this loop right here, which is for his axe, which looks really awesome. You also have this buckler here, and this just comes off of that peg, but now you have this big peg here, but you can actually pop the peg out of the back. And that way you can just have this on the front, which I think I like a bit more. And then where'd that go? Here. Little handle here. Goes into the back of this guy. And then you just have a little buckler situation. It's just a small shield, but it's pretty cool that that's an option. So you could also take this peg, this thing off of here. You could move it to the front. Don't think there's one anywhere else. There's not. But you also have this peg, the belt buckle there on the back. You could only. It's a little weird, oddly shaped because it's kind of rounded out for his butt, but that looks pretty cool too. Then you have just the long one in the back, but that doesn't matter. That's a pretty cool look. But it also looks just as good without that thing on the front like that. You can take these things off and just go kind of bare barbarian. Try something like... Again, another pretty cool look. Skim down on the armor, but a little more barbarian looking. That's pretty cool. Now with you have this giant sword, and with these guys, they have this butterfly joint there that comes out forward. So he can get two hands on his sword all day long and do lots of different poses. Yeah. I don't know if they could have done much better with these guys. I love the Warrior with Ball and Chain, and this guy is also just as awesome. So let's take a look. Stand him up. Take a look at Nashorn now. So for Nashorn, I warmed him up. I can get his same kind of idea. Got the peg there, hole in the side. And I don't know if I'll be able to push this through without taking the... There it goes. Yeah. So that's on there pretty good. So now he's got his dagger and his sword. So, as I was saying, the thing I didn't like about him the most is probably his head. But I love the flesh tone. I love the armor is really cool looking. Just didn't love the horns, the way that they styled the horns on the head. And the same goes for the ones that came in the character pack. I didn't get the character pack, but I didn't like the other horns either. And you can take them out, but he just kind of looks like there should be something there and there's not. So for a they don't have a unhelmeted head version for him yet, but I have this head, which is from, oh, what's her name? It's a Mythic Legions figure, Vikenfell or something like that. I can't remember, but it's a skeleton, female skeleton warrior that just came out fairly recently, but this is just an awesome looking head sculpt. It's got lots of detail, little kind of tribal stuff on there, and with a little bit of putty on there, it fits on there quite nicely. And that, I think that's gonna how he's gonna be. I do have a helmet for this that I'm gonna have to paint, but that's an awesome, like, this is all like, you know, a headcanon for something like a, you know, the Crucible's version of a Grim Reaper. You know, this is where my head's at with this, and it looks, that just looks so cool. That's really awesome looking. You know, whether he's a bad guy or a demon or he's just cursed, I don't know, but really, really cool looking head for this body. And this is the helmet. I think I got this from MuskyCon last year from a guy, who was it? Steam Powered Mum, I think. I forget his name, but that's what I think, that's his Instagram, is Steam Powered Mum. I'll put it in the description below. But this thing fits on here perfectly. Now it's not painted yet, but like that looks really cool. You know, this helmet with the same kind of gold with a black, it already is that, it's kind of like a bronze color with a black wash over top of it, but if it were that brighter gold color with a black wash, I think that would look pretty awesome. And I'll probably do it and then put some pictures at the end of the video. I'm not going to paint it on this video, but I'll most likely have it painted for the pictures I put at the end of the video. Yeah, that's really cool looking. I like that a lot. I do like this. Now that I have it in hand, I do like this helmet a bit more. You know what it is? The horns, because of, like, they're not rounded, they're kind of like this straight lines. It screams Tim Burton to me for some reason. Like, I don't know why. It's a stylistic thing that just, it's in my brain. It's too Tim Burton-y, but it is very cool looking. I love this helmet. It looks a lot like a G.I. Joe figure I used to have. Actually, just they released them in the Classified series recently. I do like the helmet. I just don't love the horns, and he doesn't fit. Mythic Legion's horns don't quite fit on there, but you could make them fit. But I don't have any that I really like on him. But yeah, the helmet's cool, but even this could be, you know, his unhelmeted head. Like, that would be really cool. It's not quite big enough to hollow out and make sit on there, but I don't know if he's going to be displayed with this. I'm going to see once I get this painted up if I want him with that helmet on or not, but I think that looks really cool. Almost kind of looks like the hood. If he is the Grim Reaper, you know, that's his hood. So that's, yeah, I like that a lot. And for some comparison shots, here they are with a few other Savage Crucible Wave 1 figures. Here they are alongside a couple other really good Barbarian figures. We have the Mythic Legion's Legendary Barbarian and the Frazetta Girls Icon Collectibles Conan. Now, you're probably going to notice a bit of a theme for the rest of these comparison shots. Here they are with a couple NECA figures. We have the NECA Dungeons & Dragons Warduke and a custom NECA Conan using the Ming the Merciless body. And here they are with a Super 7 Conan the Barbarian and a customized Masters of the Universe Masterverse Conan. Here they are with a couple of customized Zezere Studios Combatants figures. And here they are alongside the Boss Fight Studios and Loose Collector Red Sonjas. Okay, so final thoughts on these guys. I'm not sure what I can say that I haven't already said. These are both amazing looking figures. You can get a lot of different looks just by kind of swapping some parts. More so with Krieger. His Nashorn's parts are swappable, but he looks great. I don't want to take anything off or change anything. He looks really awesome the way he is. Other than this head, I'm gonna paint this up. Maybe you'll see in the pictures just after this little bit here. But yeah, with Creger, just in a matter of seconds, gone from armored up Creger to casual murder Creger. I love these figures. They're so dynamic. They look great. They pose great. Everything is modular. Just a fantastic line. If you haven't gotten into Savage Crucible, they might have Nashorn left from Wave 2. Go out and grab Nashorn. He's awesome. There's still a few Lemurian figures on there. These guys are so worth it. They're great figures. The universe they're creating with these guys is just really fun. And, well, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below what figures you're looking forward to from Savage Crucible. I've been really happy with every figure I've had from them so far. They are looking to get new licenses. I'm pretty excited for the new Frazetta Kubla Khan figure. I'm pretty much down for anything from Frazetta. Check out Drunk Gizmo Customs. This is on the smaller end of what he does. He has whole scenes and he's got a huge bar setup. It's really awesome. So go check him out on Instagram, Drunk Gizmo Customs. I'll post his link in the description below. And as always, thank you for watching Sarge's Custom Tutorials.